So I just told you about CCAM, what we do, where we work. We will be focusing now specifically on mangroves. Who can answer this for me? Anybody? How many? Go ahead. Alright, so currently there are 4 types of mangroves found in Jamaica. However, worldwide there are over 50 types of mangroves. Alright? But we have 4 in Jamaica. The 4 types that are found in Jamaica, you have the red mangrove.
Take note, what color?
Red mangrove. Black mangrove.
Black mangrove.
White mangrove.
White mangrove.
And buttonwood mangrove. So these are the 4 types. Black
Mangrove, red mangrove, white mangrove, buttonwood mangrove.
Okay. Alright, so this is a picture of the black mangrove. Okay, so this is the black mangrove, right? How do we know, how can we identify the black mangrove? First, the roots, right? It's called the aerial roots. So the root grows upwards, right? The root grows upward. All right. 2, the leaves are very small in comparison to the other mangroves. 3, the fruit is, all right, let me see if there's a, okay, so there's a picture. So the fruit, this is what the fruit looks like, a very small oval shaped fruit. And the blossom, that's how it is. The leaves, the black mangrove excrete the salt. It takes in through its leaf. All right. So, and the roots, as I said, it grows up out of the ground.
What do you mean by excrete? Yes, miss. Yes. Let out, get rid of. The same way we sweat
Yes.
and excrete salt, this plant is getting rid of the excess salt. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. So those are the 4 main things you need to know about the black mangroves. The roots, the process by which it excretes, get rid of the excess salt, the fruit. If you see the fruit here, you should be able to identify it elsewhere. No. Well, I am not aware of it. And the blossom, that's how it is. All right, so we're moving on to the red mangrove. So from a distance, this is how it is, right? The difference between the red mangrove and the black, the root of the red mangrove grows down, right? The leaves are larger than the black mangrove. All right, so we're going to go now to the next slide where you'll be able to see up close and personal. So the seed is also different. So with this seed, what happens is when it falls from the tree, it lands in the soil at this end. When it does that, it will be able to germinate. However, if it doesn't enter the soil at this end, it will not germinate. So it will just stay there and rot. All right, so when it falls from the tree, it goes directly in the soil. As you can see, the flower is also different. Right? This is the root. So the root here, this small one here, it's actually growing. So it eventually it will become like this. All right? And that's how the seed is when it's very young. So this is a mature seed versus a young. Moving on. So the white mangrove. So the white mangrove, right, based on where it is positioned in the zonation. I'm going to tell you about zonation later on. But based on where it is positioned, it is always further from the sea. So it's more inland, yes. More inland, and it's not, it's more, it looks like a regular tree. I'm going to see if I can get a better picture to show you. But it looks like a regular tree, so you will probably pass it and don't even know that it is a mangrove tree. All right. As you can see, this is what differentiates the white mangrove from the others. The leaves are larger than both the red and black mangrove. As I said, it looks like a regular tree, so you will just pass it and not know that it's a mangrove. And as you can see, the flower as well, or blossom as well. All right. So the buttonwood tree is like a regular tree as well. The only difference is the seed and the flower. Right? So they're more harder to recognize. No. It is a very small seed.
So this one is also more inland as well?
More inland. So this you would find it furthest. So this, right. No, buttonwood mangrove. But the seed is similar. The seed is similar to the noni, but this is very, very, very small, and it doesn't grow any larger than this, like this. Yeah. But this picture makes it look like a noni, but it's not. It will eventually flower like that. All right. Okay, so the zonation, as I was telling you before. So the red mangrove, because their roots grow down, they are the strongest to withstand storm surges, right? So during a storm, the red mangrove breaks the waves, taking most of the hit, blocking most of the water from coming to shore. So after you have the strong red mangrove, right? So just remember, if they ask you about zonation, you know that the stronger one go to the front, which is the red mangrove, and then you have the black mangrove. No, because the roots grow down, so the roots are more firmly, grounded in the soil. So if you can see here, and they're further out into the water, right? And then you have the black mangrove, which, as I said, comes up behind the red mangrove. So white mangrove, as you can see, it's further inland, right? And then no, the buttonwood would be the furthest. So you would always find the buttonwood last and red mangrove first. All right. So what it does, it all for protects the coastal area or your shoreline from storm surges. So you know, during Ivan, a lot of red mangrove and black mangrove were destroyed based on the amount of Well, yeah, beating it got. That's the zonation of the mangrove. All right. So as I said before, this is just a slide telling you giving you some more information. So it protects our shoreline, right? And as you see, it says wildlife habitat. So mangroves, as I explained before, is a habitat for not just only fish, but other crustacean and other animals.
Hold with this one. So, importance of mangrove. One, they say shoreline stabilization or protect the shore. Protect the shore. Another one is wildlife habitat. So things live there. Animals live there, right? Another one is storm barrier. Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
So it protects the shoreline against the storm. Make notes.
The force of this.
Good. Then it says here it's a filter. It's also a
Filter.
Miss Black, tell me two more. It's a nursery ground. So it acts as a nursery. So the fish sanctuary, the baby fish going to the nursery. Okay?
Right, because the mangroves are located in the sanctuary, right? So you have the sea, so you have the mangrove and you have the water. You have the sanctuary, right? So whenever small fishes, large fish try to attack the smaller fishes, they would go in the mangrove roots to hide. So it's a
One sec.
nursery.
Nemo, there was some time when something was attacking and they had to run go inside to protect themselves from the larger fish. Something similar.
So
to
they went into the seabed grass.
Alright.
So in Finding Nemo, they went into the seabed grass. That it was a lot of grass.
Okay. Not
But-
here.
Well,
Okay.
it's
So grass grows under the water also. So it's not just on land. But that's a different type of grass.
many types of seagrass, right? And as you can see, it increased productivity in as it relates to fish and fish, because when the smaller fishes get to grow in the sanctuary, they will then leave the sanctuary and go out. Same as children when they're at home, they're protected by their mother. When they grow up and want to, live their own life, they will just move out and go out. Same with the fishes. In the sanctuary, it's their home. When they leave the sanctuary, they go out into the wider sea.
And
Alright?
baby fish can have other fish. You have to have mature fish to have
Other fish, right. Oh, yes, thank you, sir. All right, so basically this is showing you how,
Let's go. This one is important.
this is showing you the entire process, what happens on land and in the sea, how they link together and how they work together, right? So it rains, the rainfall, it run off into the sea, and then you have, these are the mangroves, right? Then you have small predators. As you can see, they're showing you small fishes, predators, and then you have small fishes here that are hiding from the predator fish, right? And then there are different herbivores and other animals living in the sanctuary. I can't say sanctuary, or in the mangrove roots. Yeah, so it's just basically showing you how birds come into play as it relates to our natural environment. Okay, you know that bird plays an important part as well. All right, so people look at birds as just being bird, but birds are very important. One, they carry seed from place to place, you know, from point A to point B. They eat the fruit of the tree. They then pass the seed out, and then that seed might become a tree.
Plants from one area to the next. So when this bird go on one tree, eat off the fruit, digest that, and passes it out. You won't have one tree here anymore. One tree can be over there. And the spread goes somewhere else. And this is how birds can help us to have what? Trees spreading over a particular area. Understood? And one place that they can go to get
help with
food
forestation.
is in a mangrove
forest.
area. Understood?
Right.
So if you go down the mangrove, the habitat for the bird gone.
Because birds also live nest in the mangroves. You have birds coming in from, you call migratory birds. So the mangrove provides an habitat for birds coming from all over the world. Right?
Hold on 1 second. Have we spoken about migratory birds?
Yes, sir.
Like we said, which country they come from? They can be coming from where? From the US. Why are they coming down again? Because what? Because it's cold. At the cold time of the year, they come check out Jamaica because it's warm. Like tourists come down here because it's what? Warm. Yeah. So they what? Migrate. And they find this place, this nice warm place with food that they need. They're going to come and live in the classroom? But why not? No food. No food. But if they go here, look at it. I see fish. I see what's that? Something that looks like lobster or shrimp.
Yeah.
And all of, so they will have something to eat. Okay.
Also, humans depend on the mangroves as well. But humans benefit from the mangrove in terms of, one, fish, right? Not just only fish, but you have other things that come from the sea that humans eat, right? Hence the reason why we encourage persons not to cut down the mangroves, because persons do cut down the mangroves to do various things. They to burn coal. Yes, people cut down the mangroves to burn coal, to make yam sticks, to do various things, right? Clearing the land to build houses, persons do that as well. So person will go in and build and hotels, right? Clear large area of mangroves to build houses. A lot of mangrove forest that has been destroyed due to human population increasing, house building, persons cutting it down for various reasons. But it's a source of income.
Source of income. All right.
Imagine a coastline in the tropics or subtropics. What comes to mind is a coral reef and probably a sandy beach.
But nearby, there's another ecosystem that's often overlooked, yet may be even more important to the health of the whole area. It's called a mangrove forest. Mangroves are trees and shrubs that cluster along coastlines, including bays, lagoons, and inlets. Living in or adjacent to the intertidal zone, they straddle two worlds. Here, the daily rhythm of the tides sets the pace. This ritual exposes the intricate roots of the red mangroves, which live closest to shore. It's easy to see why they've earned the nickname walking trees. The harsh conditions of the waves and salty water would kill most ordinary plants in a few hours. Yet the mangroves not only adapt, they create a sanctuary. An extraordinary range of creatures live in a mangrove forest. Some stay here full time. Others come to spawn. 3/4 of all tropical fish are born here. Beautiful and delicate organisms seek refuge. Countless reptiles and birds call these forests home. Other ecosystems nearby, like coral reefs, also depend on mangroves. They filter nutrients and toxins out of the water, improving water quality. Their dense, intertwining roots also provide protection and shelter during extreme weather. When storms, hurricanes, and tsunamis strike, it's mangrove forests that help reduce flooding and coastal erosion. Nothing made by man does it better. We've had to learn this lesson the hard way, because in the last 50 years, the world has lost more than 1/3 of its mangrove forests. We've cleared them for coastal development, aquaculture, and lumber. Tragically, we've underestimated the value of this quiet, unflashy forest that turned out to be one of the most productive ecosystems on the planet. But it's not too late. We can still save our remaining mangrove forests and reclaim land for more. This vital ecosystem deserves our respect, and so do the creatures that call it home.
Coral reefs. Their bright, vivid colors can be seen in tropical ocean waters around the globe. Beyond their brilliant appearance lies a hidden significance. Coral are animals. Though they may look like colorful plants, coral are in fact made up of tiny animals called polyps. These invertebrates can range from the size of a pinhead to a bit larger than a basketball. Each polyp consists of a soft, sac-like body topped by a mouth covered in stinging tentacles. To protect their soft bodies and add support, the polyps secrete limestone skeletons, or calicles. Corals are megabuilders. Polyp calicles connect to one another, creating a colony that acts as a single organism. As colonies grow over hundreds and thousands of years, they join with other colonies and become reefs that can grow to hundreds of miles long. The largest coral reef is Australia's Great Barrier Reef, which began growing about 20,000 years ago. Coral reefs are some of the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. Though they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, coral reefs are home to 25% of all marine creatures. It's been estimated that up to 2 million species inhabit coral reefs, rivaling the biodiversity of the rainforest. The reefs provide rich habitat that helps protect young fish as they grow. Coral are translucent. Coral reefs get their rainbow of colors from algae or zooxanthellae that live in their tissue. Though corals use their tentacles to capture some food, most of their food comes from the algae they house. When coral becomes stressed by pollution or other factors, they evict their algae. coral bleaching results revealing coral's white skeletons. Coral provide a window to the past. As coral grow, their limestone skeletons form layers, similar to tree rings, that vary in composition and thickness based on ocean conditions at the time. With some coral reefs growing for thousands or even millions of years, scientists can study these layers to reveal what the Earth's climate may have been like in the ancient past. Unfortunately, climate change is putting coral's future in danger, along with the millions of species that inhabit the reefs and the 500 million people that rely on reef fish for food. Warming waters result in prolonged coral bleaching that kill coral reefs or leave them vulnerable to other threats. Without significant action on climate change, our oceans could lose many of their colorful reefs by the end of the century.
All right. All right. So this is just a small video again, showing showing how mangroves actually work. So this is a video showing how the mangroves actually work. Mangrove actually work. Alright, so as you can see,
as young scientists, one of the characteristics of a good scientist is observation. Let me ask them. Did anybody observe anything? Yes, sir. Alright, cool. What is it? Start. I see a little frame and they have some plants up in there. And what else? Yes, sir? Waves are shaking on one side. Question. Yes, miss? What you notice after that? Yes? Oh, the water smooth. But we wouldn't say smooth. We could use another syrup. We could say over there, it is what? So what is preventing it from being rough on that side? The what? The mangrove. So the mangroves help to do what? She said it before. Protect the shoreline. Understood? Yes, sir. So I am learning, you are learning. Could you play that part of the video again for us so we can all see that again?
sure, no problem, sir.
Pause it now, miss. Pause. You see the wave? You see the wave? You see the wave look rough? Like if I was out there, I would drown? Yes, sir. Good. I wouldn't want to leave that part of the water. Yes, sir. But play again, miss, and let us look at the other part. Hold on. Pause again. But look at the mangrove at the front. You see it's moving up and down with the wave, and it's taking the what? Taking the heat. Right? And protecting the what? The shore. The what? The shoreline. The shoreline. Alright. Continue, miss. Let's see the rest of it. Calm. Good. So as she mentioned before, there was a hurricane called Ivan that devastated down by Portland, Cottage, Mitchelltown, and that whole area.
Portland.
Right? So listen, if we don't take care of the mangrove can't take care of us. Hello? We have to take care of the mangrove so the mangrove can take care of us. What does it do? It protects the shoreline.
Awesome. So I have 3 questions.